an officer here in Tillamook. Well, seems to me that he doesn't believe in doing his job. Seems to me that, well, his line of questioning and the fact that he went out of his way to not investigate the crimes happening. That glass is still out there. He didn't collect the evidence. He didn't take pictures of the evidence. He didn't nothing with the evidence. Just kept on changing the fucking subject. Well, you need to go down to the courthouse. No. I am a disabled homeless man. Telling me to do things that I've already tried repeatedly and had to do by myself. And then, of course, he wants to keep on changing what it is that I'm saying. He wants to reinterpret and shows that he's reinterpreting it. Like when he said that an officer can't go in with me. I'm trying to turn in crimes committed against me. So, yeah, that is something that you're supposed to go to the cops about. However, because I am abused or blown off like I was again tonight by Officer Timothy Sadler, yes, he absolutely blew off the situation. Sure, he said that he was going to go investigate, and we can hope that he does. Hopefully he got Molly's last name so that I can press charges against her and get that paperwork going. I don't know her last name. I don't know Tom's last name either. Now, it was on his luggage, but it's not a name that I'm familiar with, and, of course, couldn't pronounce even if I wanted to. But, of course, that officer now knows who Molly is. Maybe he got her last name. She has certainly got mine. Now, for me to try to get a protection order against her, even with all of the overwhelming evidence that I have against her, I don't know her last name and don't have a address to have a protection order served to. Now, that's one of the things with many of my predators. The cops helped them to commit felonies against me and then helped them to get away with committing felonies against me, and that's very much what Officer Sadler did tonight. See, this has already gone beyond being a misdemeanor almost 3 weeks ago. As soon as she started trying to convince people to harm me, it became a little crime called conspiracy. Now, conspiracy to commit crimes against a disabled adult automatically falls into the felony range. When you do things like this to an at-risk individual, be they an adult or a child, it advances everything one step up. A civil crime becomes a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor becomes a felony. So maybe you should think about that before doing stupid shit. Oh yes, but then we've got to pay attention to the fact that it doesn't matter what the law says. It matters what your bias is. That officer who showed up tonight, no, he wasn't a complete and total piece of shit. He was just fucking useless with your goddamn tax dollars. Now, in every state of the union, I am allowed to make an oral report. But I have been repeatedly denied that right and told that I have to write it down. But then when I write it down and turn it in, they magically lose every goddamn thing that I wrote down, so what's the fucking point? When I have to turn it in, I have to turn it in by myself. And when I turn it in by myself, who's going to be there to stop them from throwing it away? Who is going to be there to be a witness to the situation and actually verify that I fucking tried? Because no matter what I try, these cops can use the mentally ill tag and magically get away with whatever fucking crimes they want, just like the Bollinger family. Just like Sheriff Scott DaCosta of Dual County. Timothy Sadler did kind of sort of talk nice, but he also made sure to talk over me and made sure to intentionally reinterpret my words. Yes, this is something that police officers do nationwide, especially to the homeless. That's why somebody who is an at-risk adult has to have someone there in person, and they are supposed to have someone appointed them by the courts. But the courts refused to allow that because, of course, my predators wanted to claim my intelligence to deny me my rights as a disabled person. Then they wanted to use disabilities I don't even have as their excuse to deny me as an intelligent person. Yes, this is against the law. And yes, the judges who knowingly and willingly took part in this also broke the law. So yes, I do have a leg to stand on. The problem is I have zero fucking support. I have empty fucking words and I'm sorry's. Well, I'm not going to accept I'm sorry out of Tom. I can't. He's not fucking sorry. He is not sorry for what his cowardice has resulted in. He is not sorry for the abuse that I am taking at the hands of Molly for helping him out. And of course, with the officer yesterday I spoke with, going out of his way to lie to me about Oregon state law, yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to trust any of these porkers? I'm gonna run out of gas here soon. I don't have money for insurance. As far as showing this evidence, I have to have a place where I can sit down and go through the fucking evidence. I don't have that because of victimization by fucking bad cops who are too lazy to do their fucking jobs. So why is it that Timothy Sadler wanted to go out of his way to continually change the subject about investigating the crimes against me tonight, then claiming that he's going to, but he did nothing with the evidence that's sitting right outside of my fucking vehicle. Maybe he'll look at my YouTube channel. Maybe he will see that his fucking name is on my goddamn YouTube channel. Not just the situation with him, but also the situation with Tom and the situations with Molly. And if he wants to do his goddamn job, it's going to take him a fucking week at least of looking at these videos, because there is that much on here. But no, instead of investigating the crimes, I gotta fucking go to the goddamn courts and try to do this shit alone. Now, I am hoping that the people with Tides of Change will help me to turn that in on Monday. I know that the lady that I spoke with at Tides of Change, they said they do that all the time. That is something they're pretty darn good at. Hopefully, they can help me with it. Now, the officer, Martinez, that I spoke with, I needed to turn in Molly and, of course, that sick old bastard driving the Dolphin RV. All Martinez was focused on was the bastard in the RV. And that's because, well, he seemed to recognize the situation and the RV. So, yeah. I've got a 2-hour recording that I made yesterday with the people at Tides of Change and Officer Martinez. And it's looking to me like I'm going to have to actually post that up this weekend. It's looking to me like that doesn't get to be something I keep private. And that's something that really sucks for Tides of Change. But I got to protect me and mine. If these people aren't going to look at evidence and they're not going to investigate, I got to hope that they will. But hoping don't get the job done. Hope in one hand and shit in the other. Which one's going to fill up first? You know what gives me hope? My evidence. As long as I have the evidence, I have a chance to show the truth. But I don't have any assistance in keeping the evidence or keeping any of the stuff that I have. I can't be driving around riding dirty. Now, the situation with helping Tom, that fucked me severely. Tom did not keep his end of the bargain repeatedly. Now, all of that, I can make the excuse of his age being a determining factor in that. Yes, I understand there's things he cannot do because of his age. But he's going back into a fucked up situation, and it's not just him being victimized over it. It's also me. And as long as he's too cowardly to speak up, well, that's obviously the reason that I record, so thank goodness I record. But this situation needs to be taken seriously. It should have been taken seriously 3 weeks ago. With Tom being a dumbass, that's on Tom. He fucking slit his own throat on this one. I don't want him near my fucking car because Molly will use that as an excuse. I don't want him anywhere near me because Molly gets to use that as an excuse to victimize me repeatedly. Meanwhile, she has assaulted him on multiple occasions, thrown things at him, actually hit him with those objects, but she thinks it's okay. And you get to hear her yelling at the fucking cop tonight. You got to hear her yelling at Timothy. Timothy really fucking, he didn't want to be here. He let it be known that he was not interested in doing his fucking job. He was not interested in being here. He wanted to know about the shouting. Well, here's the thing. When I was shouting at Molly, I was inside of my vehicle. And she was screaming at me and beating on my fucking car. When I got out and went for a walk, because they were on this side of the fucking building. I don't want to leave my car alone anywhere near her, but I needed to get the fuck away from her. I walked all the way to the other end of fucking Fred Meyer, all the way to the fucking garden center, so they could have this entire side of the fucking building to themselves. And when I got down to the garden center, what happens? Molly's already down there at the garden center. Apparently, I walk slow. So, of course, I come around the corner, and as soon as I come around the corner, I get to hear Molly fucking yelling at me. Like, holy shit, I walked around the building, went completely out of my way, took a long route so I could take my dear sweet fucking time, and hopefully by the time I got back to my vehicle, she wouldn't be there. But no, I get down to the garden center and starts screaming at me again. I am fucking sick of this shit. I am sick and tired of being victimized by Molly because Tom is a fucking coward. Those of you who wanted to make fun of me for standing up to Natalie Bollinger, oh, poor you, afraid of a little girl. No. It wasn't being afraid of a little girl. It was being afraid of the abuse that I was enduring because a grown-ass damn adult who just happens to be a short female thought that it was okay for her to tell a little white lie so she don't get in trouble. Just like Molly. Of course, Molly is not starting off with a little white lie, is she? No, she is starting off with some pretty big and hefty shit. Like I said, we've taught every woman in America that this is okay for them to fucking do. And the cops, they don't exactly do jack shit to fucking deter them from doing so. If I pulled the shit that Molly's pulling, I'd be in fucking jail. Hell, I've had to worry about being arrested in this fucking town on multiple occasions over shit with Molly. Yeah, sure, this Timothy Sadler officer, yeah, he's totally gonna do his fucking job, isn't he? He's actually going to investigate this, isn't he? No, the fuck he's not. He's not gonna do jack shit without civilian oversight. And do you know why? Because I don't have a fucking roof over my head. I don't have any fucking rights here in the United States. It starts off, the Constitution there, with the words, we the people. But in reality, it's those of us in fucking houses. Nobody else fucking matters. If you don't live in a fucking house, you're not a human being, and you deserve, apparently, any and all victimization that you receive, especially if you're a male. We're taught that we have to feel sorry for all these women out here in these fucked up situations. You know, Miss Jerry would be out homeless and have had her kids taken away if it wasn't for people like me helping her out. She very easily, without my help, could have ended up homeless and had her kids put in the system because she couldn't take care of them. Jamie Curtis could have easily gotten her son taken away over the bullshit that she was pulling. Amy Kalina Kingery, at least they took her kids away. Matter of fact, according to Joshua Rayborn, those two girls that I helped to rescue at Rayanna's were so happy with the new foster home, they wrote a letter to the judge telling him they didn't want to go back to live with their mom. I get that, I understand that, and I support those young women's decisions. They were horribly behaved, but given the circumstances that they were in, yeah, it makes perfect sense why they were lashing out the way that they were. Despite the shit that Amy Kalina Kingery pulled, when she was afraid that Josh Rayborn was going to fucking beat her to death in Chapel, Nebraska. This is after they've already taken her kids away 3 separate times, okay? 3 separate times they took her kids away. Then she wanted to go back with Josh. She wanted to go to Colorado and do a bunch of meth where she got in trouble. Of course, David and Laura Nelson had vouched for Amy Kalina Kingery, a.k.a. Amy Spencer, and, of course, Joshua Rayborn. Oh, they're getting clean. They're getting their lives to better. They got off the meth. They're not doing that anymore. Oh, sure the fuck they're not. Hell, I got Joshua Rayborn recorded on this very channel talking about the fact that he shoots up meth. Yeah. Why did Amy have her kids taken away? Because she couldn't stay off the fucking meth. By the way, it's all on my YouTube channel. Yes, I do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. If you ask for my help turning something into the cops, I'm going to help you. It's going to happen. But if I ask you for help turning anything into the police, your balls shrivel up and become internal. You ain't got the testicular fortitude of a fucking field mouse. You want to talk big about what you would do. If you're too much of a bitch to fucking speak up, hey, you're not going to do any of the shit you talk about doing. You're not going to go fucking kill these people. You're just going to run your fucking mouth like a little bitch. I said I would do my best to turn these son of a bitches in, and that's what I've done. For that cop, though, Timothy Sadler, wanting to continue to interrupt me and speak over me and, of course, state things that are not facts as if they're facts. Just like Officer Michael. Sorry, not Officer Michael. Officer Martinez. I don't know why I called him Officer Michael. Probably because I was thinking of Officer Michael Beard, one of the fucking crooked-ass cops who started this whole goddamn thing to begin with by not doing his fucking job. Just like the cops in Chesapeake, Virginia didn't do their fucking job. Because they didn't do their fucking jobs, because I'm a homeless male, I had to endure over a year of fucking hell at the hands of Natalie Bollinger and her fucking druggie buddies. This officer here telling me I gotta go fucking turn it in and fucking do all that shit at the courthouse. No, I am an at-risk adult who cannot do those things for myself. Just like those people telling me I needed to run tonight. I'm not capable of running. I'm not capable of running because of abuse by law enforcement. In specific, Officer Waylon Lolotai, Waylon Lollotai. When officers want to tell me stuff like, oh, you're in a different state, things run differently here, and then they do exactly the same things that were done elsewhere, it shows me that things are not different here. The blue line of bullshit is still bullshit no matter where you go. Like Martinez yesterday, of course, making excuses for those fucking officers in Colorado and Nebraska. He wasn't there. He doesn't know those fucking people. He wasn't there for the situation. But rather than finding out what's going on, he was busy making fucking excuses. Meanwhile, there's all this help that is supposed to be available for people like me. But somehow, magically, none of that help has actually fucking existed. You tell me it's existent. You tell me that this agency or that agency are supposed to investigate it, but then you make me make these calls alone. When I have to make them alone, I get blown off like I was tonight. That officer claimed that he would do something, but what are the chances? Not very fucking good. I'm homeless. I gotta come up with money for my fucking insurance. Meanwhile, I gotta try to get some fucking sleep. But how am I supposed to do that when I've got a fucking nut job beating on my fucking car? Breaking glass outside of my fucking car. Yelling at me outside of my car. We got Timothy Sadler, officer. Apparently, he's what? What's he gonna do? Is he actually gonna investigate? Is he gonna accept the shitty-ass report card that he got for doing a shitty job tonight? Or is he gonna say, you know what? There are people who depend on me. There are people whose lives and livelihood depend on me doing my fucking job. So I am going to actually take pride in my fucking work, and I am actually going to see that the right thing is done. I am actually going to investigate this situation. I am going to get to the bottom of it. I am going to look at all of the evidence. And I am going to make sure that the laws are followed. What he did tonight was play stupid. Every cop in America is taught to lie to you, to play fucking stupid, and to fucking blow your goddamn head off. They don't have time to teach them anything else in 6 fucking weeks. Half of their training is gun training. Not against circular targets, but against human silhouettes. They're not practicing shooting at a target. They're not practicing hunting deer for dinner. They're practicing blowing your fucking brains out. They're practicing blowing your head off. Half of that 6 weeks is spent teaching them how to fucking shoot you. The rest is taught teaching them how to lie and get away with it. How to work in tandem to frame an innocent homeless person. Like the push me pull you, where you've got an officer on each side of you and one of them fucking yanks you to one side and the other one slams you on the ground and says quit resisting. Those fucking cops in Boulder tried claiming that I was trying to bite them. With what? I want to show you something. Not one goddamn tooth in my whole fucking head. But you guys don't care about that. These cops have gone out of their way to so completely and blatantly fuck up this situation. This has resulted in multiple deaths that are the fault and responsibility of law enforcement. Sure, this shit's illegal, but it's only illegal if cops actually do their fucking jobs, which they're not going to. Now, maybe if you guys call up the Tillamook Police Department at 503-842-2522 and you fucking explain this shit, or you call dispatch at 503-815-1911, maybe you can explain to them about the situation, about how it is ongoing, and about how I've been trying to get help to turn this shit in, because if I have to go in by myself, I will be bullshit. I'd like to believe that Timothy Sadler is not a waste of fucking tax dollars. What I saw tonight was a waste of tax dollars. What I've gone through in the last 3 weeks is a waste of fucking tax dollars. All these agencies that I've been going to for the last 6 years, all a waste of your fucking tax dollars, because they're not going to do their jobs for a disabled homeless male unless there is somebody who actually fucking gives a shit. And, well, none of you give a shit enough to even look at the evidence, do you? Maybe Timothy Sadler will decide that he doesn't want to be a piece of shit. He doesn't want to just steal from the American taxpayers anymore. That he actually wants to do the right thing. He does actually want to make this community a safer place. Now, him wanting to push that protection order, you know, I tried getting protection orders before Natalie was killed in Colorado against multiple predators. Same thing in Nebraska. Nobody gave a shit. Then Natalie was fucking killed, and you got to see how law enforcement in Colorado got 100 times worse. Law enforcement in Nebraska got 100 times worse. You think these fucking people want to admit that they fucked up? No, they don't. Which is why it's a good goddamn thing that I recorded. Now, I don't know what to do about my insurance. I believe I have until the 7th on my insurance, and I have until the 4th on my telephone, but Also, my insurance is a lot more fucking important. My vehicle is fucking falling apart. I can't afford to fucking feed myself. How the fuck am I supposed to be able to afford to fix my fucking vehicle? Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck about the vehicle. I give a fuck about the evidence. My life doesn't mean shit. My life could be worth living if somebody actually cared enough to look at the evidence and to fucking speak up and actually make a fucking fight of it. Instead of blowing smoke up my ass and looking the other way. Timothy Sadler, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best score that you can get, I'm going to have to give Timothy a 3. He fucked up way too much. Talked over me way too much. This isn't a civil matter. I am a disabled adult. That makes this a criminal matter. And these cops need to stop looking the other way. Stop making excuses. As far as being told to call 911, no, not without somebody making the call with me. Preferably somebody who's not a fucking coward. Preferably somebody who knows the fucking bullshit games that these fucking porkers play. I must be the bad guy because I'm male. I must be the bad guy because I'm homeless. They don't have to do their jobs for a homeless male, especially if he's disabled. If they do something fucked up, they know that they can do the same thing that Molly's doing. Yeah. Anyway, we'll give Timothy a 3, and I think that's stretching it. I think that might be being way too nice. On the bright side, he still scored better than Boulder Police Department. He still scored better than Broomfield Police Department. He still scored better than Dual County Sheriff's Department. Yeah. He only got a score of 3. That's still better than most of the law enforcement I've had to deal with. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.